Hey. This is HQ. I'll be up here for a few. If nobody shows up and wants to talk about the Diddy situation, I will be up here for only 15 minutes. But if they come and we have some people that want to talk about it, let's do that very thing. Right? I mean, there's all kinds of things that are updated in Diddy trial. Right? I didn't know that Diddy had, what did he do? I didn't know that Diddy didn't pay the $20 million to Cassie. I currently found out that it was an insurance company that paid Cassie the $20 million. So it didn't come out of Diddy's pocket to pay her off, right? So he was found guilty on 2 counts under the Mann Act, MANN, Mann Act. Okay, transporting individuals for prostitution, but he was acquitted on the sex trafficking by force, fraud, coercion, and racketeering conspiracy. So this is what we do know. They decided that they wanted to, the defense asked, wait a minute, maximum sentence can be 20 years, I guess, if you do it concurrent or consecutively, I guess. Prosecutors are seeking 51 to 63 months, 4 to 5 years on a simple transportation of individuals for prostitution. They want him to do 51 to 63 months. Okay. Which I really, really don't understand why. I really don't understand why they want to give him 53 to 63 months. I get it. He is supposedly violent. And we know he's violent. We understand that he is violent. Okay. But they want to give him 4 to 5 years. The defense projects a sentence around 2 years, reflective of Combs' prior clean record and time served. Already did 10 months. Right? But they sought to get the release for $1 million bond. Okay, this is something else I didn't know. Okay, they have an emergency bail hearing. Hey, on Tuesday, hey, Ree, they have an emergency bail hearing. Okay, he denied bail, citing concerns about Combs' history of violence. Okay, so they scheduled a hearing for July 8th. To discuss possibly moving up the sentencing date from October 3rd. However, Combs will remain in custody until the eventual sentencing. I would sit, whatever sentence they gave me, I would sit my black ass down. I wouldn't try to do nothing out of the ordinary. I will sit my ass down. I won't have no conversations with nobody. I ain't gonna argue with that judge because he got off. Because the jury could have been more emotional, but the jury was correct. You got a lot of people raging out here. Oh, he should have got more. But see, they're basing it on Cassie's video. And I believe that the prosecution let Cassie's video loose so that the jury would be tainted with what he was capable of. And then they stretched the charges over into the racketeering, because they should have known, as prosecutors, they could not get Diddy on a racketeering charge as a gang, as a enterprise, right? They should have known that. Because nobody was cooperating with them. But they really did not have a case. Their case was based on, they do have a case, but they have a case for domestic. But since he didn't get charged with domestic because it was out of the statute of limitations, they had to give him some kind of charges strictly related to, the crime, right? Which had to be sex trafficking, which had to be transportation. like she said, if he would not have used his credit card, they would not have a case on Diddy. They could not have had a case on Diddy. But he used a credit card. And by using a credit card, that's what got him the charge. Okay. So that's what happened to him on that. Okay. So they have a new hearing July 8th. I guess that's Tuesday or Wednesday to discuss, him. We want a speedy trial. That's basically what they're saying. They want a speedy trial. Now, Diddy is subject to forfeiture of his property. Even though it's not a racketeering charge, he still can is subject to the forfeiture of his property. Now, his property, not as much of his property, but something in his property. We don't know. Although recent filings did not explicitly cite property levies, it's called levies, property levies, or asset forfeiture as part of the enforcement proceeding. They did not explicitly say that they were going to try to take his money and his property. Earlier in 2024, the prosecution seized various materials, including high-value assets and personal properties of Diddy's, during the raids of his home in Miami, Los Angeles, New York, including drugs, weapons, electronic devices, and large quantities of baby oil, lubricants and baby oil. Okay. So my whole thing is, can they can Diddy be charged with other things? That's what I want. Can he be charged with other things? Yes, Sean Diddy Combs can still be charged with additional crimes even after his recent federal conviction. He can be charged in other jurisdictions. Okay. Especially in Florida and California, where the raids occurred. Wow. I thought it would be over, but apparently it's not over. But then they need to take heed. They need to take heed about what they want to charge him with. He has state charges. He can be prosecuted separately by state attorneys, general or district attorneys in other places. And these motherfuckers might try to even come after him again. Los Angeles, where the lawsuits and alleged assaults had occurred, they can sue him there. Miami-Dade County, where his mansion was raided in 2024, they can go there. Nevada and Georgia, if alleged misconduct took place in Vegas or Atlanta, where he has properties and hosted parties, they can charge him there. Okay. And as I said, his property can be levied or forfeited because it's still a part of the case. It's still a part of the case, that total case, where his stuff can still be, some of his stuff still can be taken away. That's crazy. So he still has some pending lawsuits, and those lawsuits may trigger new criminal charges. Okay, so he has about 8 to 10 lawsuits that have been filed against him for sexual assault, sex trafficking, drugging the victims, unlawful surveillance. Okay, these are civil cases seeking money and damages. Okay, but they can reveal new evidence which can lead to him having fresh charges. My whole thing is, I hope Diddy has been having his lawyers talk to these people and see if he can settle out of court with these lawsuits, because once you settle a lawsuit, once you settle a lawsuit, just say settle a lawsuit, then nothing can be spawned from out of that lawsuit, because the person has been made whole or something to that effect. You can't come after him again once those cases have been settled, right? But then he can also, like if new witnesses or new people who accuse him of stuff come forward under oath, he can still be the charges can still be reopened. But I think we done heard all that we need to under Diddy. I think we done heard too much from Diddy, right? I'm sick of Diddy. If they couldn't prove RICO, that tells me anything else y'all try to bring on him, you probably won't prove that either, except lesser charges of something else. And who knows, right, what those lesser charges could be. He could still face some more RICO charges or conspiracy charges, even though he wasn't convicted of RICO charges in New York State case. They might, a different jurisdiction might, he had predicates, right? Predicates like kidnapping, arson, robbery. He had all those are predicates. They could another state can charge him for different predicates. Okay, different like drug trafficking. He had drugs when he had drug trafficking, witness intimidation, wire fraud, any kind of thing like that, right? So if the criminal enterprise is proven to span across a couple states, you never know. They may try to come back and get that man again. He ain't out of trouble, not just yet. But he finished. He got through this first hurdle. Okay, he still got 8 to 10 lawsuits that he got to settle. He should be able to settle those lawsuits. He should have a lawyer talking to them right now. He should have some kind of lawyer talking to those people right now. Okay, because they had the state had or the federal government had about $450 million of Diddy. They had it locked up. Okay, planes, houses, all kinds of stuff. They had all of that locked up. So now that they can't take all of it, they can take some, but not all, but not a lot. A small portion. Because this should be just a federal. This should be a state case, but it's not. It's a federal conviction, right? So, and he's a felon. I don't know why he didn't see that coming a long time. So he can sell off some of his property and pay these lawsuits off. These lawsuits ain't going to bankrupt him. They're not going to bankrupt him because most people these are civil lawsuits, which means they'd be willing to settle out. Because if you come to me and say, I need 50 million, I don't have 50 million. What do you want me to do? Okay. I try to settle those as soon as I can, as soon as I possibly can. Otherwise, if you send me to jail, you ain't getting no money. So you need to decide what you want to do. You want to try to put me in jail, or do you want to get some money? Okay. But then again, you got to think, they seized a lot of his electronic stuff too, like his phones and computers, laptops, desktops. They seized all of that. Okay. He ain't out of it by a long shot. Criminally, he still might face some charges, but more than likely, he probably not as serious as the ones they tried to get him on. They can't prove he has a criminal enterprise, but they could try to use some of those predicates, witness tampering, wire tapping, that kind of thing. They could try to use some of those to drum up another RICO charge. And what would be the point in doing that? Because most people done heard about his case, and most people gonna say he ain't guilty. He don't have no criminal enterprise. He's just a man who's hooked on drugs and who liked doing deviant sexual things. That's about it, right? So the Diddy case as it is, he could be charged with sex trafficking again, RICO again with a different predicate, and broader conspiracy scope. He can tax evasion, money laundering, unlawful surveillance, because he liked to watch, I guess. He had drug distribution, child pornography. If any child pornography is found, if they find anything to do with a kid, Diddy it's a wrap. You know somebody gonna try to come for him. But 9 times out of 10, they have not found any child pornography or anything like that. He would have been a fool to have had any of that on his tape. But a lot of things have been seized, so we don't know what they have. We don't know what they can prove. We don't know anything about what they can, and we don't know anything about blah blah blah, right? So we sitting here waiting to see what the hell else they gonna do, because the judge said he can't get out. And then I heard another person say, hey, they probably charge him with some more stuff. What do you mean some more stuff? Okay. Some more stuff. Please list. Okay. But my thing is this. How does he get around the one who got... So are we saying... Here's a question. Maybe y'all know, maybe y'all don't know. Right? Who knows about the son and Diddy's case in the son? Because his son and him are charged with something, right? Right, grape. Did his son do it? Is he standing around watching his son do it? See, that would be some wild stuff. If you stood around and you watched your child get into the deviant behavior that you were doing. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I got it way off. 66 or 79 lawsuits. Lawsuits span New York, California, Florida, Michigan. Both involve male and female accusers. Oh. Why civil cases could trigger new criminal charges. Wow. Criminal liability if evidence involves assault on minors. This is wild. I mean, we understand. We understand that he is a horrible human being. We understand that he is a horrible human being. Okay. I mean, how did he get away with this for so long that nobody, but see, that's the thing. People knew about it. They just didn't say anything. They just were not willing. To put him behind bars. 66 to 79 lawsuits allege sexual assault, trafficking, drugging child victims. Okay, 66 to 79 lawsuits. Okay. And they still have all of his electronic equipment, which basically means they finna try to... This was just the first of one lawsuit. And then again, the judge could have kept him in jail because they wanted to make sure that his ass wasn't going nowhere. So when the other lawsuits came up, he would be ready in jail already and ready for them to put him on the chopping block again. He'd already be behind bars because he couldn't beat that case. Maybe they know something that we don't know. Maybe the judge knows something that we don't know. Okay, we thinking this is the only charge or this is the only... Maybe there's more that we don't know that's coming down the pike and we don't know, right? So I ain't going to presume to know anything. I'm not going to presume to know anything about what he might be facing. All we know is this man has more lawsuits to come, and some of those lawsuits could be, he has more suits to come, and some of them can be legal, criminal. So this is where we're at with the Diddy case and the Diddy trial. This is the only update I have. Nobody clicked the link. That's okay. Nobody got to click the link. I still been dropping content all day. So we will talk to you all tomorrow morning. I will be back up tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock to drop me a wife code video, because that's what I will be doing. Ty Pro said he was going to come through and talk about the Diddy case. Maybe we will talk about it tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. I will be back at that time, but I'm finna go to bed because I dropped the link. Nobody wants to come up. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I will talk to you later, and I appreciate y'all stopping by for the update on Diddy. Thank you.